I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Roxanne Richards, and I'm an assistant director of outreach here at NTID. And I'm really looking forward to talking a little bit more about this and have you all participate and engage. And we've got a few videos and stuff. So I'm hoping you guys are all looking forward to this activity as well. I'm going to introduce science. Is it boring? I know some folks think, oh, science, it's not interesting. I don't really like science. So I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think science is fun, boring, or what? What are your opinions? Do you know what the right answer is? No, science is not boring. It can be extremely enjoyable and fun. Science is fun because you have an opportunity to experiment and figure out whether your hypothesis that you have about something is true or not. And so for this activity and this webinar series, we'll be doing the egg drop. Now you might be wondering to yourself, what's an egg drop? Believe it or not, egg drops were really, really popular for middle schoolers and high schoolers back in the day. And so it's an opportunity for students to build a device to prevent the raw egg, and it's not boiled, by the way. A raw egg has to be put into a device that students build to make sure that it doesn't break or crack or get damaged in any sort of way. So what you do is you build the device and drop it from a tall height and see if the egg is still intact. If it's not, that means you failed, but you can go back and fix it. If your design wasn't great, you can go back and try to troubleshoot and figure out what went wrong. So I've got two examples of what an egg drop actually looks like.
Hi, I'm Ali and welcome to Aberdeen Science Centre, and today we're going to be doing an engineering challenge involving eggs. For this, we're going to be treating this egg as if it is a present that has fallen from the sleigh. Our challenge is to build something that will protect this present from when it is dropped from height. We're going to make this into a competition. I have Jess here, and we're going to see who can best protect their gift. You can do this with just about anything, but for this, we're going to be using scissors, paper plates, tinsel, napkins, string, sellotape, and straws. Let's get building.
It's just a few examples. You don't have to follow this exactly.
So the idea behind my design was based off of sort of like a lunar lander almost, or any kind of lander, where hopefully once it hits the floor, the friction in between here will help just reduce the landing of the fall and the egg won't break. Quite simple.
So the idea behind my design was that I've created a little nest for the egg. Inside the nest, I've put tinsel in, which is hopefully going to absorb some of the impact and protect the egg. On top of it, I've made a little frame out of straws, which is hopefully going to keep the egg in place. On top of the egg, I have built a parachute, and I'm hoping that this will work against gravity to slow the egg down as it reaches the floor.
Now, let's test it out.
Ooh, it didn't really work.
We hope you've enjoyed watching this year's 12 Days of STEM. Thanks for watching, see you next time.
So now the next video is very brief. what you just saw was from a very small height, but this next video is going to show it from a much larger one. This was performed by a father and daughter.
It did not break.
That's it. So super simple. But what we want to see is more creativity from you all, from really tall heights, and there will be an opportunity for you to win a prize. But we'll talk about the prizes a little bit later. Alrighty, so do you guys want to have fun? We've got 4 different videos, and when we're done watching them, it'll be time for you all to vote. Okay, so we've got these 4 videos. We're going to watch all of them, and then I want you all to let me know which video would be a better idea for you to follow, or which ones you think are not so great for an egg drop. So we're going to watch them all and decide who you think is best. So I've got 4 things that I'm going to be using: a box, some tape, some rubber bands, and a cup. Let's see how it works. So the reason I did this is because when we drop the egg, we want to make sure that without a parachute, we can have something that'll prevent it from cracking. So sometimes when you're driving, you go over a speed bump, you feel that impact and you want to reduce it. And how they do that is with shocks in the car. And so I was thinking about how we could do this with an egg. And I figured out that we could use some really long elastics or rubber bands, secure them to a cup, and then depending on which direction it actually lands, it'll have a way to balance out and distribute some of the impact and energy that the egg would incur if it hit the ground. And it keeps it steady too by tethering it in all these different directions. For that, I just used tape. And then last, I put the cup in there, taped it up, and then eventually I'll put the egg in and see if it works. And that's what I'm going to do for my egg drop. What should I name it? The little box that could. All right. Thanks so much. Good luck. Roxanne is saying, so I'm testing DJ's little box that could with an egg, and we're going to drop it from a height. The egg's in there now, nestled securely. And hopefully it doesn't fall out. So what I'm going to do now is close the box up and see if it breaks. Here we go. It was really loud. Let's see if it's broken or not. It didn't break. Woo, it's still intact. All right, and so now that was the first video. We'll show the second one. I think the second one is shorter.
if you don't show that it's in there, it will disqualify you from the egg drop. You have to show it and show the process from beginning to end. Let's see if it works. Yes, and so that it was measured to know the exact height. And if you tell us that height, you get a bonus. Okay, let's see. Oh, she can already tell that it splattered in there. Did it? Oh, it was the ice cream that splattered out. The egg was intact. It was successful. I honestly was surprised. And of course, we had to use eggnog ice cream. As I was trying to figure things out and work on this, after I let it drop, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But when I opened it up, this is what it looked like. It was fun. So I thought for sure with all of the ice cream that came out that the egg had broken, but it hadn't. So she describes more in depth her process in more details than the first one. And I like number 2, but let's see what number 3 looks like. My name is Roxanne. I'm one of the facilitators of this program. I run this egg drop experiment program webinar. So I have an egg in here. Of course, that's the most important part, right? Popcorn. Sort of a container with string around it. With the more height, I thought that this might pull it down with the gravity. So we'll see what happens here. I've got the egg, I've got the popcorn. Gonna put the egg in with the popcorn. It is a cut up water jug. Yeah. Have some air in there to cushion it. And some string to hold it up. Here we go. This is my contraption. I'm going to come over here and drop it from this height. Let's see what happens. See if it breaks or not. See what happened. Hey, check it out. My egg made it. I call this, it's poppin'. I was just describing that it's a trial and error method that I used. I noticed in my video that it was less than 3 minutes, and it has to be at least 3 minutes or longer. So I added a behind the scenes to make it hit the number. So it's not a requirement, but it is meant to be between 3 and 5 minutes long. Last, we have number 4, and then you tell me what you think. This is 4 minutes. I'll see if I can try to move it. It is very detailed, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch it all or not. My name is Janae, and I did the egg drop experiment. I have a padded mail envelope. I have letter wrap, bubble wrap, and paper towel, and washcloth. My plan is to drop the egg from with a creative device so that my egg will, once dropped from a distance, have 0 cracks. So I'm going to stand from a chair and try it once to see if it works. Then I'm going to try a higher height from a table to see how that goes. If the chair works, then I know it's safe to try on my table. If the table works, then I know it's safe, to keep trying. So we'll see if I get any cracks. Here's my first attempt from a chair. Roxanne says, this is very simple. I hope you drop it from higher than a chair. And from a table. This is my second attempt, and they both worked. Oh, excuse me. I did 2 attempts on the chair. They both worked. Now from the table. I checked to see if it worked, but it failed. Unfortunately, it did not work. Wait a minute. It did. I thought it wasn't going to, but I'm going to try one more level to see how it goes. So next I thought I might try it from the stairwell. I live on the 3rd floor, so that is pretty high to the bottom floor. It's fairly risky, but I'm going to see if it works or not. And so I guess fingers crossed. This is really, really high, Roxanne saying. Yeah, it was a weird fall. So for this, going down the stairs, my friend was videotaping it. I couldn't get it in the same place twice because of how it dropped with the airflow. With the airflow, it caused the envelope to go out over to the side. The second time, I'm going to see if it works or not. We're going to try it again. Let's see. Oh boy. I feel like, I don't know. Get out. Ah, it worked. I hope that you all enjoyed coming up with your own creative devices and are successful with no cracks. Good luck. So Roxanne says you watch these 4 videos. Who do you think should win of the 4 of those? So looking over that, number 1 was very unique with the boxes and the rubber bands going into the corner, but there was no real clear explanation or list of what was included. He did just sign it, but he didn't necessarily show it in a visible way, like with text in the video. Number 2 was really quick and short. It was very short, but again, number 1 and number 2 were both under 3 minutes, which doesn't satisfy the requirements. My video was amazing, and I explained it very clearly. It was a little less than 3 minutes, but then I showed my egg, and afterwards, number 4 was great, but didn't show the egg at the beginning when it got put in from beginning to end. So they would not be eligible to win the prize because you have to show the egg without any editing. You can't show the egg and then fade to black or cut and then show the egg after, because how do we know it's the same egg? So you have to, from beginning to end, from placing the egg in the device to the time it drops, then show the egg after that without any cuts. Then you can qualify to win the prize. So now this is what you've been looking for and waiting for, the guidelines for the competition.
So here are a few examples of some of the supplies that you can use: egg cartons, rubber bands, straws, plastic cups, and whatnot. You don't have to follow this to a T. I'm just hoping that you all can try and think more outside of the box and get creative, get innovative to try and develop something that is really spectacular, unique, and just something that can prevent any sort of damage to the egg. You want to make sure the entire thing is intact, okay? So I'm going to explain a little bit more of the rules here for our competition. The first rule is you're going to have to design and build an egg drop device that'll protect your egg from cracking or breaking. So that's pretty simple. That's exactly what you have to do, the task that is being assigned. Next, you have to release the device completely when you drop it, and it must touch the ground. And you cannot use any sort of parachutes or flotation devices because it's really easy to save the egg that way. We want to make sure that you're thinking outside of the box without a parachute. And make sure when you're doing this, when you're actually doing the drop, especially if you're standing from a tall height, that you're with a teacher or faculty or staff member. Of course, you wouldn't be allowed to stand in the stairwell to do these types of things normally. Make sure you always have an adult to supervise you while you're doing these tests and experiments. And then make sure that they are there for the entire process from start to finish. Now, the judges are going to be basing their decision on 3 criteria. How original is the design of your care package? Is it unique, or were there a ton of other folks who had the same idea as you? The popcorn thing that I did, I didn't see a lot of people use that type of concept, so that might be something they would consider as highly unique. Second, what was the tallest height that you dropped your package from without damaging the egg? Whoever can do it from the highest will certainly get more points. And finally, did your device remain intact? So not only did it protect the egg, but does the device itself have longevity? So we're going to be judging, or the judges will be basing you all on these 3 criteria, and that's how they'll decide who is the winner of the competition. So, like I had mentioned before, the videos have to be 3 to 5 minutes. In that video, you have to explain how you did it, why you picked those supplies, what inspired you. And I think people really enjoy listening to those types of things. And then also, what was the creative process? How did your design evolve? We want to see that in the video. Also, when you're done recording it, upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video, and then send it to our email address listed on the screen, NTID outreach at rit.edu. And we received a really large volume of registrants for this competition. In the past, the deadline was October, but now we're extending it to November 2nd because of such a high influx of folks who wanted to do it. If you submit it after that, you won't be accepted as part of the competition and will not be considered. We'll select 3 devices on November 13th, and then we'll announce our finalists. I know you all have been wondering about the prizes, so give me a second here and I'll show you what they are. I'm just teasing you all. I'm gonna absolutely show them now, okay? Just wanna make sure you guys get motivated for the competition. I am serious. I will show you what the prizes are. So in 3rd place, it's a really cool prize. It's a 6-month subscription that you would get monthly from Eureka Crates. And some examples of the things that come in those crates are like this thing, the trash get ball, where you get to make like a basketball device and then a stereo headset, also an electric pencil sharpener, a bunch of cool devices. And these are all made by KiwiCo. All right, so that's 3rd place. 2nd place would be an amazing one. You'd be super lucky to get this. I know tons of people would be happy to have a Nintendo Switch, but that is not all. We'd also be including brain training. It's one of the games for Nintendo Switch where you basically get to do a bunch of puzzles, and that was made by Dr. Kawashima. And for 1st place, this one is a very compelling prize. Hopefully, it'll motivate you to get involved with the competition, and it entails two options. So we have a full scholarship to our program, Tech Tigers. It was based on Tech Girls and Tech Boys that we had previously. Those were separated by gender, but in the year 2022, we thought it was time for a change. So we're deciding to integrate and all genders will be together. So we've changed it to Tech Tigers. You'd get a full scholarship to that program, and we would cover all of the travel and tuition for the camp. And it's a really, really amazing experience for students if you haven't heard about it. Perhaps you have some sort of conflict with your schedule. If you're unable to attend, we would give you $500 as the prize instead. But I would highly suggest you take up on our offer of coming on a full scholarship to Tech Tigers. So that's it for today. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them if you could type them in the Q&A. If you all are thinking and don't have one right now, if you have any questions, concerns in the future, anything that comes to mind, please feel free to email me and I'll be sure to answer it. Again, the email address is ntidoutreach@rit.edu. Okay, and so I see one question. The question says, should we do the presentation before we begin the egg drop video, or is it optional? I would prefer if people did the explanations during the video, at the beginning of the video, before you drop it, so that we can get an explanation and that'll increase your chances of winning based on the criteria that I had shown before. Okay, so that's my recommendation. All right, so when the egg drop is done, you might be wondering what other opportunities there are to get involved with these science competitions at RIT NTID. We have another competition that will be a virtual science fair on the Rube Goldberg machines, and that'll be from November 14th through December 9th. So that'll give you more time to design a submission for the competition. And it requires a lot more details than the egg drop. So hopefully you all can get involved in that as well. Second, we'll also be having regional math competitions. Some of you may be from the north, some folks from the south, some on the east, and some from the west. I want you to look on the screen here and see which areas you'd be able to get involved in. We've got links for you all to click on and register. And this year is our first time hosting the competitions. So we'll have 4 teams from each of the north, east, south, and west regions. And then we'll fly everyone out to Rochester if you qualify in those top 4 placements for an in-person competition here. So think about who you want to be on your team. All right. And that's it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you all do for your unique egg drop designs. Good luck and break an egg. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.